So what's up people and welcome to the chapter 94 discussion of Kaiju number 8 or Kaiju 8号. So chapter 94 came out almost about 2 weeks ago, and as always I will leave a link to this chapter that's currently being shown on the publisher's official website, Manga Plus, for free to the North American audience. So if you're interested, yeah, we'll go take a look at it before they pull this chapter back. Okay, so once again I apologize, I'm still trying to get over this cold. It's getting better, so it's almost completely cured. And so now I can go back to doing some of these videos again, but it's been a little bit delayed, and I apologize for that. But in any case, yeah, chapter 94 was a good one. It's basically the epilogue chapter to this entire Soshiro part of the battle, although the battle still continues as far as the JDF is concerned. But for Vice Commander Hoshina, well, basically this battle is complete. And if you recall, in the last chapter, we saw the move that Commander Hoshina did with Monster Number 10 to defeat Monster Number 12. And it was very close. Monster Number 12 almost got the upper hand, except that there was a very interesting move that Soshiro did with Monster Number 10 to be able to defeat Monster Number 12 by destroying its core. And so Chapter 94 starts right where Chapter 93 ends. And what we notice is that Monster Number 12 is so determined that even with its core destroyed, it tried to continue to do the battle. But of course, with the core destroyed, it cannot do so and eventually succumbs to death. And at that point, as a warrior and a man of high regard, Soshiro looks at Monster Number 12 and says, "You were a wonderful adversary," and gives him respect. And considering the fact that he put all of his strength into this battle, there's nothing left to keep Soshiro going, and he falls down basically in sheer exhaustion. But the headquarters is absolutely ecstatic because Soshiro defeated Monster Number 12. And of course, they announced that to the entire JDF. And people like Kikoru basically comment back congratulating him for his victory. And what's interesting is because it's gone throughout the entire JDF unit, eventually Soichiro, Soshiro's brother, learns about the news. And the comment Soichiro makes is to tell Soshiro, yeah, that was a pretty reckless move. But he says it out of respect rather than out of criticism. And when his colleague asks him about the win, Soichiro mentions that Soshiro never really relies on ranged weapons, and because he works with melee, he always gets into a high-risk situation. But like what we see here, he typically can get out of it. And this is when we start understanding more about Soshiro's brother. It's not that he has always ridiculed Soshiro. In fact, he has high regards for him. So much so that he realized that to some extent Soshiro may be even better than him. Yes, as far as skill is concerned, Soichiro is still ahead of him. But during the times when he always trained with Soshiro, Soshiro was catching up at such an alarming pace that to be able to keep that distance, he almost had to kind of ridicule him and bully him just so that Soshiro didn't catch wind that he is catching up very quickly. In other words, Soichiro, considering the fact that he basically ridiculed Soshiro a lot, actually had a high degree of respect for him, even to the point where it was almost frightening watching just how fast Soshiro grew. And so this gives an overall picture. We understand how Soshiro felt about this entire relationship with his brother, but we see the other side from Soichiro's case, and we realize that yes, it's a standard trope that you see where the person that you think is unreachable actually has a respect for the character that is in question, but this was done really well. And the battle was really well done, and it was really interesting to see how Monster Number 10 teamed up with Soshiro to be able to defeat Monster Number 12. Now, in any case, aside from Soichiro, Everybody else is, of course, understanding that with monster number 12 defeated, there is really only one high-level monster left, which is in the town of Tachikawa. And so now the entire scene shifts to that location, and we understand that now we're going to be seeing the next battle that comes along. Now, originally in chapter 93, I was thinking most likely Kafka will be the next battle that comes along. But what we find out, and to my enjoyment, is that this will not be a battle between the monster and Kafka. This will be a battle between the monster and Commander Mina, Commander Ashiro. And the remaining monster, monster number 14, is a pretty devastating one. It seems to use beamed weapons to be able to destroy its adversary. And we see it in the town of Tachikawa when it shoots its beamed weapon and basically starts destroying all of the town. Now, there are a lot of JDF soldiers out there trying to defeat this monster, but because it seems to have a strong shield and a defense mechanism, they don't seem to be able to do anything with regards to this monster. But then you hear a command by Commander Ashiro, and she tells them that they have to continue to attack, as well as to analyze the monster to be able to figure out how to defeat it. And in the meantime, don't worry, because she will be eventually at the location to be able to take the monster on. So for the first time in the series, we actually see Commander Mina in battle. Yeah, we saw her one-shot many of the monsters in the past, but this is a high-level monster, so this may be a serious battle, and this is the first extended battle that we will most likely see with Commander Ashiro. And so I am really looking forward to this particular battle. As much as I would like to see Kafka come in, I have never seen Commander Mina in a really high-level fight, and it will be a joy to watch her in this battle. Now, my thought is that this may end in two ways. One is that Commander Mina will not be able to take this monster down, and eventually Kafka will have to come in clutch. Or the other is that, of course, Commander Ashiro will be able to take this monster down. And I am hoping that it will be the latter, because I don't want Commander Mina's first major battle to be one where she loses. I do want to see her defeat this monster, probably with the difficulties that we saw, similar to Kikoru Shinomiya, Commander Narumi, and Vice Commander Hoshina. But I do want to see her defeat monster number 14. And so then the question will come out, if she defeats the final monster, what's there for Kafka to do? And that might give a lot of readers criticism that Kafka will be left out of this entire battle. But we cannot forget that monster number 9 is still out there. And for all we know, he has a trump card, which may be monster number 9 himself. Whatever the case, monster number 9 probably has some additional trick up his sleeve. And when that happens, Kafka will probably have to come in, and we will finally see what has happened with Kafka since his training arc. And so it is interesting. I am still looking forward to the continued battles. We definitely will see one, and most likely we'll see two. One for Mina and one for Kafka. And it will be interesting to see how Matsumoto Naoya moves this battle arc along to its conclusion. But in any case, this was a pretty good chapter. If you read it, what'd you think about it? Any comments will be greatly appreciated. And once chapter 95 comes out, I'll bring out another video. I hope you join me at that time. And until the next episode, happy manga reading. And as always, Jaya, nice day, everyone.